be, so.
And the flag's okay, just right there? Yeah.
Yeah.
There's Steve Johnson,
Yeah.
Rob.
Okay, perfect.
There's the Gibbs coming on.
Yeah. Yeah, so we have the YouTube live on, so that should be running. So just so everyone knows, we're live.
So excited. There you are.
Hello.
It's me and you and
Yeah.
Anders.
Hi. Welcome.
And I guess I have the prayer since you had it last time.
Okay.
But then you have the pledge. Unless you want to switch.
I'm fine to do the pledge.
Okay.
How are we doing as far as
Attendance.
commissioners?
I think we
here?
so we're on
Rob, and
YouTube
we've got-
live, and then we're on Zoom, and
Yes, I can put that right there.
yeah.
Few minutes to spare.
Yeah.
Silence that.
Yeah, how's things at your house? Good?
Yeah, we're doing okay. I met a nice guy at the park this morning. He knows you. His name is Ed Pope.
Yeah. Yeah, he does know us. What do you have, how did you make that
You know, we were
connection?
just down the bar. Sometimes I'm lazy and I just take the dog to the park and let him run around.
Yeah.
And Ed was down there doing the same thing, and we started talking about fishing and stuff. Anyway,
But how did you get that connected?
well, I realized he lived right above us.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
he's the one that said, "Oh, do you know the calls?" I said, "Yeah, I know the calls."
We worked with him a lot on the mission.
Yeah, that's what he
And,
said.
Yeah, he's got them, maybe afterward I'll tell you his story, but he's got the most interesting story.
Hmm.
He's, but we really, are we being recorded right now?
You are. Yep.
Oh,
Yep.
okay.
You're on YouTube and Zoom and
Oh, well,
three
I'll
or four.
talk to you
no, just
later.
kidding. And then on that thing,
Okay,
Kathy's got you recorded.
okay.
Yeah.
I'll talk to you more later.
Okay. All right, I think I got it pulled up here now, finally.
So yeah, we're well documented here.
Well, 6 o'clock.
About 1 minute, and then I'll go ahead. Who do we have on?
Yeah, I think we have both the applicants, Ken
But do we
Watson
have-
and
We just have Rob and Steve that have joined us now?
let's see.
Mhm.
So yeah, Mike Marchbanks,
Okay.
Steve, Rob, and Ken Watson and Brad Gibb are both applicants.
Okay, but we've got Steve, 3 not with us again. She's, can't be with us tonight. Okay,
Oh yeah, Scott, I guess we're just missing Scott Thompson.
okay. Okay, Do you think I can go ahead?
Yeah.
Okay, we'd like to welcome you to our Planning Commission meeting this evening. This is Planning Commission meeting for November 10th, 2020. Our meeting is being recorded. There are several of us here in person at the city buildings. A number of the commissioners are on Zoom this evening. We're going to begin our meeting this evening with an opening prayer, and I will go ahead and give that prayer. Our Father in heaven, we are very grateful to gather together in this Planning Commission meeting. We are grateful for the opportunity to serve the city in this way and for the trust that is placed in us. We are grateful for this time tomorrow when we honor the veterans of our country, for those who have paid a price for us and to continue to strive to keep our freedoms. We pray that our country can be united at this time in supporting government leaders and of our nation and of our state. We pray that we can make progress with the healing of the pandemic, and we can all cooperate to try to take those steps we need to. We pray that we can have thy help and guidance to be with us this evening as we make decisions that affect the city. And we say this in the name of Jesus Christ. Amen.
Amen.
Please rise and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America
and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible,
with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, we're going to begin this evening with an audible roll call of the commissioners. And those of you who are on Zoom, you can let us know you're there. Sharon Call, here. Mike Marchbanks.
Here.
Okay, Jared Showers.
Here.
Rob Callis.
Here.
Steve Johnson.
Here.
Okay, Scott Thompson.
Here.
Okay, and Commissioner Tribe is excused for this evening. Okay, and I think we have Councilman Van Cherry with us also this evening, and appreciate you being here with us. We're going to begin. We're going to begin our meeting this evening with an approval of the minutes. These are the minutes from October 27th, 2020. And commissioners have received those minutes ahead of time and had a chance to review those. Do we have any corrections or additions to those minutes?
I have one correction, Kathy. Page 7, line 8.
Okay,
It just says the motion carried unanimously. It was a 6-1 vote.
thank you very much. Thank you, Stephen.
Okay. Okay, any other corrections or additions? Okay, do I have a motion to approve the minutes?
I'll make that motion to approve the minutes.
Okay, do I have a second?
I second it.
Okay, motion and a second, all in favor?
Aye.
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 Okay, any opposed? Okay, the voting is unanimous. Okay, item number 3 on the agenda is, this is a time for public comment. This would be for any items that are not already on the agenda for this evening. And we don't have any public here, so instead, unless there's other public, and I don't think so, just those that have got items on the agenda. Okay, we're going to go ahead with item number 4. This is a plat amendment. This is for Colson Cove, Plat F at 755 North Colson Drive. And we'll let our planning staff, Anders Bate, go ahead with that.
Thank you. Good evening, Commissioners. So for this item, as Commissioner Call said, it's a plat amendment for the Colson Cove Plat F at 755 North Colson Drive. This request is to amend the existing lot and parcels in order to consolidate the lot and parcels into one lot. The reason for doing this is because just to consolidate all the parcels that are owned by the same property owner into the same lot, and then to make that a buildable lot. The property owner plans to construct a home on the property as well as an accessory apartment in a detached accessory building. And so that will allow the property owner to build what they plan on the property and meet the property setback requirements and lot requirements to do that. The property is in a residential zone in the R112 zone, and the property meets the requirements for that zone as well as the subdivision requirements. And so staff recommends approval of the plat amendment. If you can see on the screen, the yellow lines are the existing lot and parcel boundary lines. And so there's 4 current parcels that will all be consolidated into one, which is the white line. And this is the plat that will be the preliminary plat that the Planning Commission is approving of. And so I'll go to the motion for this item. So the motion reads, I move to approve, deny, continue the applicant's request for plat amendment approval of the Colson Cove Plat F subdivision with the following conditions. 1, the applicant will continue to work with city staff to make all technical corrections as necessary to the plat prior to recording. 2, prior to plat recording, the applicant will update the final plat Mylar to include notarized signatures of owner's consent to dedication and obtain signatures of all entities indicated on the subdivision plat attached here too. 3, the final plat will be recorded prior to the applicant receiving a certificate of occupancy for any building on the property. And 4, all items of the staff report. So does the Planning Commission have any questions for me? And then the applicant as well is on Zoom. So if the question, you can ask him questions as well.
Well, most of you that have, well, those of you that have been serving on the commission for a time, remember that we worked through this quite a bit. I believe it's been a year or 2 ago with the accessory apartment, and actually rewrote the ordinance on that so that it could be a larger one. And as I recall, it's dependent on the size. The new ordinance, maybe you could just review that ordinance with us.
Yeah,
as far as how we rewrote that because of this property.
It was because of this property, yeah. So at the time, the R2 overlay, or the accessory apartment zone, allowed for a detached accessory apartment, but it was limited to 1,000 square feet. And the change allowed you to have a detached accessory apartment that's 1,500 square feet. So that's what it is now, and so that's what they would be doing on this property.
Well, and isn't that ordinance, isn't that based on the size of the main property, the home?
I believe there's also a requirement that it can't be more than a certain percentage of the main dwelling, and I don't have what that is exactly, but
Right.
yeah, that. And so, yeah, the proposed, so we already have the building plans for the proposed house and apartment, and it is meeting those requirements.
Okay.
Yeah.
And the only thing that I saw wasn't completely in compliance was the side lot lines that weren't in a straight line. Is there any issue on that?
So that is something I brought up. The code it require, maybe I'll go to that. This is what it says in the code. Side lot lines shall be at right angles or radial to street lines, except where justified by the subdivider and approved by the planning commission. So the planning commission can approve exceptions to that, and at the cul-de-sac, it is at you could say it's at a right angle or radial to the street line, but then after it does kind of go all over the place. Maybe I'll go to that. So I think at the where the lot touches the cul-de-sac, it is meeting that requirement. Further along, though, it it does kind of follow the canal trail property line and neighboring property lines. So I'm not sure that the applicant really could do much to fix that. So because it is determined by their neighbors more than.
Okay, does anyone else have any questions on it? Any commissioners, anything you have on that? I walk that trail all the time and am very familiar with the property, and it'll be neat to see how that goes into place. Are we
Very
ready
excited to get built and moved in.
Go ahead.
I said, we're very excited to get built and moved in.
Yeah. I know you've been renting in that area for a while, haven't you?
Yeah, we're just up the street, luckily, so no moving kids neighborhoods or anything like that, or friends.
Yeah. Okay, are we ready for a motion? I don't have any other questions.
I'll make a motion.
Okay.
I move to approve the applicant's request for plat amendment approval of the Colson Cove Platf subdivision with the following conditions. The applicant will continue to work with the city staff to make all technical corrections as necessary to the plat prior to recording. 2, prior to plat recording, the applicant will update the final plat Mylar to include notarized signatures of owner's consent to dedication and obtain signatures of all entities indicated on the subdivision plat attached here too. 3, the final plat will be recorded prior to the applicant receiving a certificate of occupancy for any building on the property. And number 4, all items of the staff report.
Okay, we have a motion. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Okay, motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, the voting is unanimous. And thank you so much for being with us online.
Thank you guys very much.
Thank you, appreciate it.
Okay. Okay, we're going to go ahead to our next item on our agenda. And this is the Anderson Farms Major Subdivision Approval. This is Parcel C. And our presenting staff, are you going to go ahead with that, Anders? Is Mike
No,
going
Mike
to?
will do that.
Okay. Mike's with us online this evening?
Yeah, Anders, I need you to share the screen again.
Okay.
Great. Will you go down to the last page?
Yes.
Commissioners, thank you. It's great to be here with you. Ken Watson is also here with Ivory Development. He's representing them and will help answer any questions that you might have. So parcel G, you can see it close there to the top. So this is the 6th phase that has come before the planning commission and it'll go to the city council for final approval. But this is the 6th phase that you've seen. They're moving along extremely quick down there, and I think faster than all of us thought a couple years ago. But this phase is for parcel G. It's 25 lots. If you'll go up one page, Anders, to the plat, the lot sizes range from 6,600 square feet to just over 13,000 square feet. The average lot size is 8,900 square feet with an average density or with a density of 4.8 units per acre. In the staff report, I went over the subdivision requirements. Same issue, they meet all the subdivision requirements except for the one item on the right angles, which we included as a condition. And then under the development agreement, so these items, so each phase has its own items that have to be completed before the plat can be recorded. So I provided those items in your staff report. Anderson Boulevard is currently under construction. Ken could probably give us an update where we're at on that road and when it'll be completed. You can see that they will, these other items, they've been working with staff on and will be completed during this phase. Any questions about the subdivision before I go into the motion?
All right. I would like to hear from Ivory how as far as the Anderson Boulevard, how that's going to be completed from 700 North to 500 North. And I guess just a little bit of an update on that. Can we do that?
Ken, can you answer that question?
And how to do that?
Yep.
Okay. This is Ken Watson. I appreciate being here tonight. Thank you. I do love the Zoom meetings. It's really easy to see all of your little faces up close and all that sort of stuff, so it's easier for us to take care of this. Anderson Boulevard has just paved up to 700 North, except for the last about 50 feet, which we had to install a pipe that goes across Anderson Boulevard so that Ron Anderson could take his irrigation water from one side of the road to the other. And so that's been installed today, getting the road base down. And as soon as the weather will permit, we'll finish that amount of asphalt and the road will be essentially open. We will continue on with putting our sidewalks in and protecting our concrete the next little while and get everything done as much as we possibly can. We have in Plat E, which is, if you look at the plat, it's the one subdivision you can see it's kind of ghosted in there a little bit. That's Plat E1. We just finished the curb, installing the curb today, been covered with our mats to keep it from freezing. And so they will begin probably in the next couple of days putting road base in on the road and preparing for a paving on the 16th or the 17th next week, which we think we'll have the correct temperature so that we will be okay to be able to finish the paving inside of the subdivision. That will kind of brings you up to date on everything that's going on. This plat is another one of our plats that we want to continue on with. It's Plat G of our development. And did I answer the question okay right there before I change subjects?
No, that's fine. Yeah, I just thought it'd be good to have an update of what you're doing.
We're actually putting in the median berries, we're putting in the soil, the topsoil, getting ready to landscape next spring. I don't think we'll get it done this year. The roadway itself on both sides of Anderson plus down the middle. So we're gonna just bull right ahead and get that done as fast as we possibly can. At that point, it'll connect us from 700 North down to 500 North and then go on down and tie us back into all of our phases and around and to the west side of the existing subdivision that's there. So we're looking forward to getting that done for us so that it'll tie it all together. It's good for our marketing to be able to bring people in this side, and we think it'll be good for the city to get the road system in. Back to this plat here, if you'll notice, there's a little change in how the structure and how we platted this from what we had on that master plan sheet, and that's due to what we think might would have happened. Maybe we can go back to that quickly. If you'll notice, we had a straight road going straight through there. A couple of things when we got into this a little closer is the lots might go right down towards this plat G on the master plan there. Yeah, kind of blow that up just a little bit right there. I'll talk a little bit about that area. Those lots right there are kind of platted really deep. That wasn't working out. Plus it was kind of squinching us up in the middle. And if this commercial goes in, which we're still holding strong on our city's option, I'll call it that, put a commercial development in there, then I've shown just the townhomes that we would try to put in that little area right there. But if not, that'll all become single family and where the commercial is. And the road will come back up, kind of parallel Anderson to about that same proximate area we've got going through right now. And then that'll all be lots up in there. So there's a little bit different of the master plan that's there, just for that little portion. But when we get to that point, we'll work with staff on how that will essentially work and how that'll all be done. This development brings in all of our utilities from Anderson Boulevard into the project for all of the property east of Anderson Boulevard, clear up to the multifamily. So that's our water, sewer, the under drain system, all of that sort of stuff comes through that cul-de-sac right down at the end and comes back into the development there. So it's kind of a vital part for our overall project. We've been working down on 500 North. There is see right where 500 North is there, a master plan call for us to have a walking path from Anderson Lane right there, west, clear over to Anderson Boulevard through there. And so
on the north side of the Thorn property there.
Yeah, that's the Thorn property. We've met with Mr. Thorn this past week. It went well. So we'll see what he does as far as if there's anything he has a problem with after he has a chance to study it. Actually, we met with him, not this week, it was last week. And so we think we've provided him with his access into his farm operation, also to be able to get the path down through there, plus landscaping and everything that'll go on down through that area. So it'll really kind of spruce it up and keep it nice. We have an 8-foot wall along that partial, we call kind of partial, it's actually right. I'm on the wrong, excuse me, Mike, I think we went the wrong way. Go back over to Anderson. We got it. See that green line right there? So yeah, right, oops, too far. Go back to Anderson Lane, right at the knuckle right there, right there. Going west along that line right there, yes. Clear over to Anderson Lane right there, or Anderson Boulevard. That's where the open space is there for the path. Sorry, I kind of got a little bit turned around there when I saw the little green area right there on that master plan. I'm not sure what that is for sure, but that's so I think Michael has seen that plan. It is in our plans. It's invited to the engineering department to take a look at. They've given us a review of it, come back with nothing on that part of it. On the development, we've gone through our first red lines on the drawings that are there. So we think we have a plan that will work, and it'll be really successful to our community and to the people that may want to come into the project. This development, like Mike says, the lots are anywhere from 6,000 to almost 13,000. They will be what I call similar to our estates development, kind of in signature estates, what we call it, in the Ivory development, which are the larger type homes that are there. And so we wanted another community right in there to be kind of an entrance coming in off of 700 North to be able to provide larger type homes in there. If you slip down, slip the master plan up, Mike, I'm kind of rambling here. Down on the very bottom, below parcel F, right there, is where we have the big estate lots, which we have gone through the first phase of that, and we're in construction on the second phase. Those are going quite well. We've probably got 50% of those lots already sold, and there's several homes being built in there right now. We're trying to get to them as quick as we can. So we'll do the bottom half of that this winter time, have ready for paving in the spring, and that'll complete all of our estate lots. Sold out all of the parcel, shows parcel F here, but it's really parcel C, which is the one in the middle. That's all been sold out now pretty much. I think we've got just a very few lots that are left. So we're very happy with that. That's been a real successful. That will be similar. Those types of homes there will be very similar to the ones we call up in parcel A at the top. That's kind of the same type of community that will be up there. Okay, what else could I say? That's about everything that I can come up with. I kind of rambled a little bit, but that's.
When are you putting the park in? The 10-acre park. When does that go in?
Have you been down there?
Not the last few, probably not for about a month.
It's well under construction now. We're starting with the pads and stuff. Contractors working on it as quick as they can. It's a little bit of muddy down there for them right now, but they're working on the drainage system and everything. So it's underway right now. So we're hoping to keep that as much as we can of the work that we can during the winter time, so that next spring we can finish up on the concrete work and have the park ready to go early next year.
And you'll have it ready to go for probably spring and summer then.
Well, I don't have any dates for my guys yet, but it'll be early next year, so that we'll have something there that will go.
Oh, that's neat.
More information to follow. I just don't have an exact date. So.
Okay. Well, I will take a field trip back down there again.
Yeah. It's you won't see. It won't even look the same when you get down there.
Okay. Anyone else have questions for Mr. Watson? Okay, now, Anders, on this does go to city council too, doesn't it?
That's correct.
So we just, in our motion, we just need to recommend.
Right.
Okay.
Commissioner Call, do you want me to go through those at all, or are you fine with just how they are on the screen?
I think that's okay. As far as the motion, can they just, do we need to go through those individually? The conditions?
Yeah, they could just go 1 through 6 if the commissioners have reviewed those and are fine with them.
Is that okay, Anders? Okay, that's fine. Yeah, if you're ready to make a motion, that would be great.
I would make a motion. I move to recommend to the city council the approval of the applicant's request for preliminary approval of the Anderson Farms subdivision plat for parcel G with 25 lots with the following conditions, items 1 through 6 to be noted.
Okay, I have a motion. Do I have a second on the motion?
I'll second.
Okay. I have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. The voting is unanimous, and I'm excited to go look at the progress there.
Thank you. You need to go through the whole development and take a look at it, see how we're coming there. Got a lot of asphalt down, a lot of homes going in there now.
Okay, that's great. Thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you very much.
Okay, the next item would just be planning commissioners bringing up any concerns or things they would like updates on. I would like kind of an update on if there's anything additional on the Norton property or the Lindon Nursery property, the South Haven development.
Yeah, so let's start with the Lindon Nursery. They're going to city council next week for their final zone change request. They provided me the information on the square footages on that north that was encroaching into the 300 feet and the south portion that had the additional commercial. It fits in there perfect. I think there was like 1,000 square feet difference between the two areas. So that works just fine. And so they're ready to go to city council next week. So with the Norton property, they submitted an application today. We'll need to go through that to the development review committee. So that's the city engineering department, the planning department, the fire department, and we'll have to review that and give them any comments. So it'll still be a little while before it comes to the planning commission.
What is their proposal as far as units for the Norton property at this point?
When I looked at it today, it had 70 units. And then it had 7 homes building out the cul-de-sac.
Oh, wow. Huh. Okay. On the Lindon Nursery, last time there was kind of a, some of the commissioners didn't understand whether the density was to be figured behind the 300-foot setback. What just to clarify, could you do that for us?
Yeah, the density is based off of everything behind the 300 feet. So I think it was 6.3 acres, something like that, back there. They've got the 58 units. So that section of housing that was encroaching into the commercial zone, it was smaller than the area behind the Lindon Nursery building that has the larger commercial area that was extending into the residential area.
So Mike, net effect, they didn't lose any density, did they?
That is correct. They did not.
Good.
In fact, their density actually went from 9.3 to 9.1. So
Okay.
Okay, so that they will probably be good to go as far as the density.
yeah, now, things could change when they come back to you. It definitely could be at 10 again or something. It depends. We had a long discussion today that trying to tie the site plan with the zone change, and I think we did a pretty good job. But the way that our attorney and Mr. Southard's attorney reviewed those, that they can still change things around just a little bit. But when it, refine it, what I'm trying to say is refining it, maybe modifying it slightly when it comes back to you for site plan approval.
Okay. And when it comes back for site plan, then we can work through some of the other concerns we had.
Yes.
Okay. Any other questions on what they're doing on that?
I think my question is, and I'm one of those guys that doesn't like to have too much government regulation, but what can the city do to make sure that the product that Jeff Southard is trying to build there is a nicer quality product? It's something would attract maybe a little higher end buyer than the development he always references over there in Pleasant Grove, the condos and townhomes, which are not bad, but I mean, they are more of a first-time home buyer type of product.
Yeah. Well, that's why we tried to put in higher design standards. We got a lot of pushback from the Home Builders Association and other developers, but that's the way you do it is through your design standards, so that you're setting the standard in your ordinance.
Okay.
Or the other way is you just don't change the zoning until you get the product you want.
Well, I still think you can have the zoning that we've got and the density even that we are allowing, but, I'd like to see those townhomes sell at a price point that would ensure maybe that a lot of investors may not be picking those up, but that owner occupants are buying those.
Yeah. No, I agree with you. The lady from the Norton property, she keeps throwing out that, these are $400,000 townhomes. So, I don't know if, many investors buy $400,000 townhomes, but.
Well, she's always said that, but that hasn't been what the South Haven group, they haven't ever, their price, from what they've said, they're trying to attract more of a starter home type thing.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I guess we just see how the city council works things over, and then it'll come back to us. Is that right?
That's correct. You'll review the site plan and preliminary subdivision approval and the conditional use permit, the city council. So you'll be the final land use authority on those three items. The city council will be the final authority on the subdivision. So, when it comes through, you're going to want to make sure, that you review it closely, because you'll be the final land use authority.
Okay. Anyone else on that? Okay, the other.
No, I'm with Jared, understanding where he's coming from, but I would hope that the site plan, brings us some details, a little bit more detail than what he's provided in the past. But I think all along we've seen that as a little bit different product on the west side of the State Street versus up against the expensive homes on the east side. Not saying it's got to be ugly or anything, but I'm sure we'll have a little bit of input there.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Mike, just on that for the Nortons, you said 7 fill out the cul-de-sac?
I
Are
think
those-
so. I
are they single
looked at it for
family?
about, single family. I looked at it for about 3 minutes today. So,
Well, I was just curious whether it was like,
Yeah.
so probably 5th acre lots or something, I would guess, to fit 7 on a cul-de-sac. Just as,
yeah. I'll look at that closer. But we like just the 3 minutes I looked at it, I had a few things that, were already off a little bit with setbacks and stuff. So we'll get into that in the next few weeks or next week, within the next week.
Okay.
thank you.
I just had another couple of questions, if we're through with that, unless anyone else has questions. Okay, I just thought it was interesting, especially with the governor's restrictions on social gatherings, that today I saw not an advertisement, but a notification come out that Lindon City's still planning their tree lighting ceremony with handing out hot chocolate and candy canes and then having a in-person Parks and Recreation meeting both before and after. I just wondered how that fits with the governor's restrictions at this point.
I don't know. I haven't seen that yet, so I apologize. I don't have any information.
Okay, I just saw that, really late this afternoon when I was kind of putting things together for tonight, and just had that question of how that fits.
Aaron,
Uh-huh.
it was my understanding Heath Bateman said they were going to do a virtual tree lighting. That was the last I heard at council meeting. So
Okay.
maybe it's changed that I'm not aware
It
of.
just talked about passing out hot chocolate and candy canes, and so,
Well, I know, Sharon, I know that we canceled the Thanksgiving.
yeah,
We
and that was
we had talked
sad. That was really
Yeah,
sad,
we had talked
yeah.
about doing box lunches and handing them out on the curb, but the mayor felt like even that was a little bit too risky. So I don't think we're going to have a formal tree lighting. I think, like Kathy said, it'll probably be virtual.
Okay. I just wondered when I saw that today.
Sharon, I'll check with Heath in the morning on that.
Yeah, that was the last thing I had heard, that it was going to be virtual, so
I'll double check with Heath.
I think it was even gonna be pre-recorded, so.
Yes.
Okay, I was just gonna look here. I don't know where I saw that. I thought it was email, or I can't remember. I just noticed that this afternoon. So it's okay. I just didn't know how that was working with the restrictions. The only other question I had was, do we have a new chief of police since ours went to Orem City?
We do not. Councilman Ventura, do you want to answer that, or do you want me to give what I have? Oh, you're on mute, Councilman.
Sorry. All I know is that we saw the email that I think from the council, Van and then Kristen and Adam and a group of other people are going to, they've narrowed it down. I believe, Mike, was it about 15?
Yeah.
Something like that. They've narrowed it down to about 15 candidates. They sent out a questionnaire to those candidates, and then they're going to pare that down a little bit, and then they'll have their formal interviews. One thing that was brought up that was kind of interesting, I guess I never really thought about this, is he didn't say how many, but a number of the officers in our existing police force came forward and felt like hiring someone internally was not a good idea because there may be some resentment perhaps, or there may be, someone who feels like they were more deserving or had more seniority or something like that. So at least the last that I've understood is they won't be considering someone internally. Is that what you understand, Mike?
I think that's what the email said, yeah.
Yeah. So it's in process, I know, and I know they're working on it as quickly as they can. So, and I think Chief Adams is going to be involved too in the, at least in some of the initial screenings and looking at the applications and so forth.
I want to say they had 40 applicants, if I remember right around.
At least, yeah.
Lieutenant Edwards he's filling in, so if you need to contact anybody at the police department, Lieutenant Edwards is the one in charge right now.
Okay. I was just interested. Does anyone else have anything to bring up this evening? Okay, if not, I guess it's the planning directors, if you have anything additional.
No, I don't have anything. Thank you.
Okay, Anders?
No, thank you.
Okay. Well, if none of you have anything this evening and the planning directors don't, then do we have a motion to adjourn?
I'll make that motion.
Okay. Do I have a motion? Do I have a second?
I'll second that motion.
Okay, motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, boy, that was record time.
That was
Look,
awesome.
45 minutes.
Thank you guys. That was a
Anders, what can we do to help you get out of here?
Yeah. Hey, is Kathy still on?